When we talk about the Russian losses in Ukraine and the speed with which the Russians make up for those losses, we know that they most often use huge reserves of weapons and equipment left over from the Soviet period. But when you use the reserves to compensate for your losses, then the problem arises when the reserves start to empty and your production cannot manage to fill the holes. And this is something that is happening to Russia now. So the logical question arises, when will the Russians run out of weapons? Let's see an example of the Russian Tu-S5 Pantsir-S 152mm self-propelled gun, which can illustrate other types of weapons in the same or similar way. According to the analysis made by HIMARS-ED, Russia has lost at least 55 visually confirmed of their 100 pre-war active Pantsir-S self-propelled guns, with 10 more units being damaged. Since there is a higher number of vehicles and bases, here is an overview of the numbers. Russia has at least removed 288, more than 48%, and some of the remaining Tu-S5 have had their gun removed. Once again, the 94th Arsenal is the main base for storing this SPG, where at least 175 units have been removed until January 2024, Tu-S5 marked in red. Interestingly, not a lot of vehicles have been removed between July 2023 and January 2024. It is possible that many of remaining vehicles are cannibalized, such as the ones shown below, but the satellite images from Jan are not good enough to assess the extent of this. At the 120th, all visible Tu-S5 have been removed since the start of the war. The 80th base had 31 Tu-S5 in 2021, and after the base was reorganized in 2020, 336 Tu-S5 were visible, which might have been stored inside. The most recent image I have from this base has very low resolution, so some units might have been removed since February. About 18 Tu-S5 were stored at the 243rd, although it looks like 11 already had their gun removed before the war started. Regardless, all vehicles were removed until August of 2023. The Tu-S5 stocks at the 7020th also decreased significantly from 68 to 35, and it is visible in May 2023 that many of the remaining vehicles had their gun removed. All Tu-S5 were removed from the base in Lesnoy Gorodok and the 744th. There were also 12 Tu-S5 stored at the 230th base on Sakhalin Island, and all of them were still there in October 2022, which is the most recent image I have. Additionally, I am not sure if these might belong to active units. In conclusion, the Tu-S5 is one of the most cannibalized types of the SPGs in storage, and the pre-war stocks have likely decreased by more than 50% by now, considering many images are more than 6 months old. As with other SPG types, the system is likely more limited by the availability of barrels, guns removed from stored units, but also ammunition, since the Tu-S5 ammunition is not compatible with other Russian 152mm systems. Unfortunately, we don't have any data on how many are currently in active service, but considering the visually confirmed losses and the numbers of units removed from storage, it is possible that more than 300 are still active, although the number is likely much lower. Ramzan Kadyrov posted a video yesterday with Apti Alaudinov, the commander of Akhmat Spetsnaz, and Alexander Ratibor Kuznetsov, who led Wagner's first assault detachment. They say that Ratibor has agreed to join Akhmat with other former members of Wagner. Ratibor was the most prominent of Wagner's assault detachment commanders. This is notable after attempts to subsume Wagner into Rosgvardia and the Ministry of Defense. Ratibor is likely the most influential of Wagner's former commanders, so he may be able to recruit more former Wagner members to join Akhmat, because after the Battle of Bakhmut, some Wagner and Chechen officials' commanders started a war of words as well. Russian telegram channels report that after the third dam break in the Russian city of Orsk, water reached the city bus station, near the large confectionery factory of Orsk Dairy Products and Fire Station numbered 16. It is reported that overnight the water flooded the settlements of Nikol, Stroitel. Rescuers evacuated local residents. The Ural River level in Orenburg region has reached 11 meters. Governor of Orenburg region said that this was the highest flood in the region's history. Traffic was blocked on several streets in Orsk. Gas and light were cut off in some districts. More than 700 rescuers with special equipment are working on the site. An FPV kamikaze drone of the 47th Brigade destroyed a BMP-1U Shkval of the Russian armed forces in the Avdiivka area. The BMP-1U Shkval is a Ukrainian modernization of BMP-1. In 2007, Georgia ordered an unknown number of such BMPs from Ukraine, and before the start of the Russian-Georgian War in August 2008, 15 modernized vehicles were delivered to it. As a result, the Russians captured 14 to 15 BMP-1U at that time. The IFV did not take part in the battles, but simply stood at one of the Georgian military bases. Russia is scratching the bottom. Russians hate us as a nation. A freed Ukrainian prisoner came out to support his brothers. Yevhen was held captive by the Russians for 2 years and told what the defenders were going through. Hitler is nervously smoking on the sidelines compared to the Russians and what they are doing to Ukrainian prisoners. It doesn't matter if you are in the military or not. This is physical and psychological violence and a complete information vacuum. The soldier said that he went to war as a volunteer and is sure that he will continue his service, but he is currently undergoing rehabilitation.
Настільки, як вони нас ненавидять як націю, це, мабуть, взагалі не передати слова. Звідки таке береться взагалі, я не знаю. Я розумію пропаганду, я розумію якісь там, не знаю, уклади свої, які вони там собі налаштовують, які вони використовують, виховання мається на увазі від малого до великого. Але мені здається, навіть у нас, вибачте, були різні ситуації в Україні, так? Настільки, як вони, і де воно в людей таке взялося, чесно кажучи, мені, м'яко кажучи, дуже дивно.
Тобто це якась нелюдська ненависть?
Це, знаєте, якось от на хронічному рівні, на підсвідомому рівні, чи ще ось отак, десь в цьому напрямку. Люди дуже, давайте так, є всім відома біда, яка сталася в 20 столітті, Друга світова війна. Є у нас пан Геббельс, пан Гітлер, пан Гіммлер і тому подібне. Вони нервово палять у сторінці в порівнянні з росіянами. Я вам так скажу. Сказати, що там не людське відношення до, без різниці, чи ти військовий, чи ти не військовий.
Тобто постійне фізичне насильство?
Фізичне, психологічне.
Тиснуть. Ти ніхто, тебе кинули?
Абсолютно.
А ви нічого ж не знаєте, ніяких новин з України?
Там абсолютно повний інформаційний вакуум, якоїсь інформації абсолютно ми там не володіли.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.